Hello and welcome back to Mother Tongue, your eyes, ears and finger on the pulse for all parents around the world. Let's get going, shall we?
So, Frankie, I'm not going to lie. I think this is going to be my favourite of all the episodes.
You say that
I'm clearly very excited about life in Saudi.
I love it. Every episode you're like, this is the one. This is the one that's going to make me move.
Well, do you know what? I feel like this one's going to be more exciting than the next one. I feel like the next one on healthcare and like
But you
facilities.
are just about to have a baby. It's
True. It's important.
Yeah.
It is an important episode. But this one about where to get my hair done.
I'm here. This is my episode, I'm telling you now.
I know. I'm just going to be like, how long is this episode going to go on for? I'm very excited. So yeah, basically today we're talking about daily life essentials, everything from kind of making friends and finding a nanny, which we know is all very important, to setting up bank accounts, groceries, where to get your hair done, nails, all that palaver. So I'm going to go with the slightly more boring ones first, and then we can move on to the more exciting, interesting ones.
Let's do this.
Things like setting up utilities and internet services. Now, here, for example, you have to go and set up a DEWA account, which I think is water or electric.
I still don't know. Yeah.
Me neither. I mean, it's something. This is a blue job, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't really get involved in. But are those things quite simple to set up? Because I feel like here they're still really not.
So do you know what's amazing when you live in a compound? They do everything. So I do not know anything about internet, electrics, anything. And do you know what I was saying to my husband the other day? I think we're still married because we live in Saudi. This is what I've decided. Because we don't argue about any of the blue jobs. So it's all done by someone else. And we'll talk about this in this episode, but like, we have a nanny who takes the edge off life in every way.
Yes.
We don't do any like life at the weekends. We're not putting up pictures. We're not, having to do the garden or any. It's all done by maintenance. We don't do the garden. We don't do the house. We don't do anything. If something breaks, he's not got his hands down the dishwasher. There's none of that. So we are literally saved by Saudi. This is the tagline for the whole series. We are saved by Saudi. So all of that is in the compound agreement. So we don't have to do any of that. So when you move here, you don't have to set up anything apart from your own phone bill, which is easy. So we have Virgin, we have Zain, we have STC, and you basically just go to a booth in a mall and they set it up for you. So easy.
Oh, great.
So really, really easy. One of my big tips is make sure you get your WhatsApp number as a Saudi number, because it's really irritating when you're trying to call someone and you've only got their Australian or English number on their WhatsApp and you're like, I don't know how to get hold of you. Very odd. So change that. And then, any other bills? Not really. Like, I don't really have a car if you get it on finance. But
so you can buy cars quite easily, can you, in Saudi? It's all quite straightforward.
Yeah, so we got our second hand. My husband's now got a new one, which he bought outright. You can buy it, you can finance it, or you can get second hand. All the options.
Amazing. And what about setting up a phone again? Do you need to have if to set up? I remember in Dubai to set up a phone, to set up a bank, to set up internet, to set up all these things. The person who was setting them up needed to have their visa in place in order to do any of this. Is that the case in Saudi?
Yeah, exactly. So it's unlikely you'd be here without your visa.
Yes.
And then if you're on a tourist visa, if you're just trying to muddle your way through it, then you would not be able to get a phone or anything. You wouldn't probably even be able to, I don't know if you'd even get a residence. I don't know if you'd be able to get a tenancy agreement. So I would wait until you have your Iqama, which is our Emirates ID, so our national ID. And then using that, you can set up all the bills, all the different bits that you need to. If you're off compound, I'm sure you probably have to look after a lot more of it. But we don't live with compound, so I haven't had to think about that yet. But there would be someone, whether it's your landlord, someone will be able to guide you through.
Okay, fine. And then what about banking? when it comes to banking. Are there lots of different banks that you can
Yeah.
pick from? Are there some that you would suggest are better than others in terms of like reputation?
Yeah, so I have Saab, which is HSBC. So we have loads of banks here. Saab is the one that we were set up with our company, with Michael's company. So
Okay.
that's the one we've always been with. The only thing I would say, which we've thought about more and more over the years, is to try and get a credit card that connects to Air Miles.
Okay.
Because we put our rent, we put our schooling, we put the car, we put so much on the credit card and then obviously pay it off when we can. And that means that so many miles help when I'm traveling with the kids alone, for example. I can use them to upgrade, or we can book flights
That's
with
amazing.
family, or so it's a really good tip. And I know we did that in Dubai as well. We had Citibank, and that was connected to Emirates. So yeah, so try and think about that when you are, and also something really to be conscious of here is don't get yourself into debt. Any Middle East country, don't
Yeah.
get yourself into debt. It's not worth it. It's so intense. If something happened and you lost your job, so when I say we put the schooling and the house and the car and everything on credit card, we would not do that if we couldn't pay it off really quickly. So
Yeah.
you have to be so mindful of that. Don't mess with money in the Middle East. We all know this. It's like an unwritten rule.
Yeah, this is so true. And just wanting to circle back to the phones, you said obviously set up a local Saudi WhatsApp number, but again, it's similar in Dubai that actually WhatsApp call doesn't work in Saudi, does it?
No, so WhatsApp call doesn't work here. For some reason, Facebook call does. I don't know if that works in Dubai.
Oh, I don't know. Never tried.
Yeah, we can messenger Facebook, but in Dubai you have bottom.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Whoever came up with that name, I do
Silly
not know.
name.
The marketing team were not on it. But we don't have an equivalent like that where they haven't set something up that we can use to call home. So we don't have Facetune. No, not Facetune. FaceTime. I don't know what
FaceTime,
it's
yeah.
called. FaceTime. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have that. We don't have any kind of ways to video call home, which is a real shame. But you can Zoom, and I mean, if you wanted to Zoom your mum, I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but it's quite difficult to video call home.
Yeah, no. To be fair, it's still very much the same here, to be honest. And then I wanted to come on food, because obviously food is essential. Grocery shopping, markets, do you have Deliveroo? Like, talk me through where you do your shopping and how you get your takeaway.
Yes, so we have everything. Do you know what, as well? Like, I find this when I go back to England. I'm in Norfolk, which is quite sleepy, and we don't have Deliveroo, we don't have Uber Eats, we don't have Uber. Imagine, no Uber. We don't have, if you want to have your fish and chips, you have to drive to get it. I'm like, but what if what?
It's going to
No,
be
I just don't want
cold when we
to.
get home. I
Yeah.
have to go out the house. What?
Yes.
No.
And like, I joke every time for the last 11 years I go home and I sit in my car waiting for someone to fill up the petrol. Don't you?
Yes, to be fair.
You're like,
I mean, we have
what?
Cafu now, so we don't even have to go to a petrol station anymore. We just get someone to come to the house and fill up the car. That's how bougie Dubai is.
Incredible. We need that here, by the way, whoever wants to set that up.
I know.
think that's genius. But yeah, I definitely think that here in the Middle East, we have so much luxury when it comes to takeaway. So we do have delivery, we have Uber Eats, we have Careem, we have all of the Hunger Station, Jahez. These are our perhaps more Saudi local ones, but
Yeah.
all of your food can be delivered to the door. And that's anything from super high end, like the Chefs, which is one of our delivery apps. They'll deliver really high end sushi, really bougie cakes. Like, that's one of the more elite kind of apps, I suppose. Like the other day, I had a cake that had writing on it, and they'd done all that and they delivered that off. That was great. So yeah, so we have that, and then we do have Uber. We've got Careem. No one uses Careem here, really. We use Uber.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then with regards to food as well, so we've got Lulu Hypermarket, which is like one of our biggest supermarkets. We've got Carrefour. We've just recently got Spinneys, which makes me so happy. It's like our
Literally.
equivalent of Waitrose.
It's the best.
Oh my gosh, the best. And so yeah, so it's all changing with regards to even the supermarkets here. I think we're getting another Spinneys. And then we've got all the big kind of restaurants. We've got the high-end restaurants. We've got, the more casual Joe and the Juice vibe. We've got everything really. There's nothing really I can't get.
I feel like restaurant-wise, you've definitely like nailed it in Saudi. There was so much when I went recently. There was so much that you had in Saudi that I was like, oh my God, we don't even have this here in Dubai.
Yeah.
But oh my God, getting spinnies. I mean, that must have been the biggest game changer. Having come from Dubai, knowing spinnies so well, I don't think I could
Yeah.
live without the spinnies salad bar now. I just don't think I could
No.
do it.
And we were so scared when we heard it was coming. We were like, they won't have the deli. They won't have the deli. What are we going to do without the deli? And
Oh,
then it came with the deli, and we were like, oh my goodness, the dream. So I am so happy to have spinnies. Although I will say it's really expensive versus I feel like what the prices were in Dubai. And that's food in general. That's not a spinning
yeah.
thing. So everything's probably a bit more expensive here when it comes to food.
Yeah.
But that's okay. And yeah, the restaurant scene is incredible. We've got such huge names here. We've got Scott's. I'm trying to think where we've got there's honestly
Got
so many.
Gymkhana. I want
We've
Gymkhana
got
here.
Anna,
Yeah.
yeah, the Indian restaurant. We've got honestly so many. Mr.
Yeah.
Chow,
I want to just
Kuru,
come back to
the
Saudi
amazing
to eat all
Japanese.
the food.
Every cuisine, Il Burato, Italian, Public. Oh my gosh, the best pizza. So I could honestly list so many restaurants.
You're making me hungry, and we're not far
Yeah.
off lunchtime, so.
But and also again, like the prices actually of the restaurants aren't too bad because you don't have alcohol.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you'll go for a nice girl's dinner and it will be 500 dirhams, £100,
Yeah,
and you've eaten so much.
yeah. So well, like a king or a queen, as we
Mm,
are.
mm,
Um,
mm.
Before we go on to mum essentials, I wanted to tackle the question on finding a nanny because I feel like this is an essential part of mum life, really, if I'm being honest. I mean, I know that might sound bratty to people who live in the UK, but finding someone to help you in your home, to adore your children, help you with all the many things that, let's be honest, as mums, you do need help, especially if you're a working mum.
Mm.
How did you go about finding your nanny? Because it's a hard process in any expat country, to be honest.
Yeah, so we have the most gorgeous, loveliest, amazing nanny. So I messaged her actually a couple of days ago saying, you are an angel, like you're the best person that I've ever met in my life, because she had made my daughter full on fake nail extensions out of Play-Doh, a little handbag
Oh,
and a phone. And it was the funniest thing to watch my daughter, who's 4, walking around thinking she was honestly 20, and it was just tickling us because we just thought it's so innocent and so funny. She was just living her best life. But so we found her through an agency in the Philippines. So you have to sponsor your nanny. There are a lot of illegal nannies here who are often deemed runaways, or which I don't remember being a thing in Dubai, but maybe it was.
no.
But yeah, don't get involved in that. So there is a lot of that, but here you can obviously, there's agencies based in Saudi that you can use, or we used ours in the Philippines, who has an office based in Saudi. And Chanel, our nanny. So my husband said, do we need to interview her? I said, absolutely not. She's called Chanel. We're just getting her. Like, don't be ridiculous. Like, don't be going to interview her. So I actually interviewed 6 ladies and they were all amazing. I honestly couldn't have said a bad word about them. They were all such lovely, lovely ladies. But Chanel got the vote and she moved over. It took about 3 months. So this is something that a lot of people don't know. It takes a long time for the visa process, especially if they're coming over from Philippines. Whereas if they're here, it's probably a bit easier.
Yeah.
But we knew that this agency came really highly recommended, so we wanted to use this agency. And yeah, so she lives with us. She works 6 days a week. She works with us, and she's just, yeah, she's brilliant. And it is, I completely agree with you. It sounds so bratty when I talk about it, but actually, it's just, you don't have your family in the Middle East. You're an expat. My husband travels most weeks. I'm alone a lot. She's
Yeah.
my team. She's my family. She's
Yeah.
like the person that looks after us. So I couldn't do it without her.
And Is there, I mean, obviously here I've never actually heard of anyone getting someone directly from the Philippines. It's all kind of done from referrals within Dubai when people leave jobs and then are looking for new ones. Is there a lot of that in Saudi as well? And like, are there forums or groups where people are recommending nannies or not really?
Yeah, for sure. So there's loads of WhatsApp groups, loads of Facebook groups, loads of referrals through compounds. So that's absolutely a way you can do it. So yeah, so someone will be leaving and then any sponsorship needs to be transferred, or they're not the right fit for that family and they want to be transferred. So yeah, there's ways and means, for sure. And a lot of the Arab families here have multiple nannies.
Yeah.
So sometimes it will just be that they don't need that many, or so they kind of swap around. But once your person's sponsored, they're sponsored for 2 years, most people, and
Okay.
then they can move on.
And then what happens if, for example, you find out that you're not bonding with your nanny, or your nanny's not the right fit for you and your family? Is it then quite hard to replace the nanny, or yeah, or just, can
No.
you dismiss them, fire them?
Yeah. So it's like any employee, really. If it's not the right fit, you have initially with our agency, you have a 3-month grace period. So if you feel like
Okay.
they're not the right fit, they'll swap out. Um, and you can find someone new, or exactly like you say, if you found another family on the compound that had a better fit, because with the nannies as well, there's some that are really great with the children but not so great with the house.
Yeah.
Some that and so that might not be what you need. Say you've got a newborn and you need someone that will help overnight, or someone that will be really hands-on with a new baby. So it's definitely different strokes for different folks, like different nannies for different families, 100%. And like my kids are older, they're at school till 1 and nearly 4 every day. So for her, she has the mornings to kind of look after the house and do meal prepping, and then she takes the kids in the afternoon. So yeah, it just depends what your family needs, really.
Yeah, it's very similar with us, to be honest, very similar with us. And then I wanted to move off nannies and then on to kind of mum essentials.
Mm. A
Touching
nanny.
upon to start off with, yeah, exactly. Things like, finding a hairdresser, finding somewhere good to do your nails, all these things that, let's be honest, as a woman, they are essential. I mean,
Oh,
and they're really hard to find. So are there a few like faves of yours that you really, really like love to go to that you found over
yeah.
the years?
100%. So, I absolutely love Tips and Toes, which is a Dubai favorite as well. So we've got Tips
Yeah.
and Toes here, which is only one. Imagine you guys have them on every corner.
Stop it.
I've
You've
just
only
got
got
one
one.
here. Yeah, just one. I'm like, come on, guys, we need some more. There's one in Kobar and there's one in Riyadh. Then we have a really gorgeous salon called Rejuve, which do the most amazing facials. And they do a mummy package where you can get your nails and your brows or your lashes done at the same time, which we all need that level of speed. Um, so Rejuve is a really great salon. Hair, there's a really lovely British hairdresser called Holly who works at Kerastah Salon. She speaks fluent Arabic, which always throws me every time I
Wow.
see her. Yeah, she's amazing. So that's for hair, but I mean, my Instagram is definitely a go-to for all the beauty stuff because I feel like I'm in a salon every day. But as with the restaurants, there's just so many to experience, and it's so great, like that we've got so many popping up all the time.
Yeah, that is
Um,
great.
and then with regards to Mum Essentials, we have a lot of your online. So we've got Mum's World, we've got First Cry, Mums and Papas, who all ship here. We also have the malls here where you can go and get all your. Because I had a message the other day saying, "Can you get like Marks and Spencers and Next?" And I was like, "Yeah, we've got Marks and Spencers and Next, and you can order them online." So I just did all my kids' matching Christmas pajamas from Next. You can definitely get all the outfits you need and the bits you need from those kind of high street brands that we all know and love. And then we've got Unas for the more high end bougie kids stuff for the clothes. So yeah, we have a bit of everything really. And then we had the Mother Tongue event, which we did together. So there's more and more
Yes.
of those kind of moments as well where mums can get to. I know that's we're going to be doing a lot more in 2025 together.
Yeah.
Those mummy mingle moments we haven't had here. So it was so lovely to have the mums together, just chatting. And, you know, a lot of them, I'm sure you noticed on the day as well, were like, oh, I know you through so-and-so, or oh, I followed you on Instagram, when they were talking to like different mums in the room. I was like, see, you just needed to meet. Like, that's so lovely.
I love that.
Yeah, so I think that's a really big change and something I'm looking forward to seeing more of next year.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And I mean, are there any other kind of, obviously there's yourself on Instagram. Are there any other good like expat groups or Facebook groups or popular forums or anything that people can use as a resource?
I mean, when I first moved here, there was one hidden Facebook group called Red Play Group. Imagine one.
One.
One, yeah. Whereas now every compound has a WhatsApp community. But honestly, I would say no, there's not really a lot of expat specific Instagrams here. There's my other one. So there's my main account, and then there's Saudi Life Unpacked. So that's Saudi Life Unpacked as one word on Instagram. And that is very much a place talking to the mummy community, like where to go for salons, where to go for schools, where to go for compounds. So all the things we're kind of touching on here on an Instagram page that's just so helpful, that just doesn't exist before.
Yeah, that is so true. And I mean, it's so great that you guys are doing stuff like that for people who are moving, because unlike here where there's just never ending knowledge, you know, there's every Facebook group under the sun. You haven't quite got that yet. So it's amazing that you guys are creating something with that. So I'll definitely link that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because we both have our kids in the same school, and we'll be walking through the school and mums will be shouting, can you please talk to us about this? Or can you do an episode on this? Or can you do a post on this? Because still, even people that have lived here 1 or 2 years are still struggling to know, where can we take the kids to the dentist? Where can we? So it's just having that constant flow of, like, for example, Lily, who I do the show with, she's flying to Australia tonight alone with 3 children. Now, she's been able to talk about where to go to get all the bits that she's going to need for the flight. She talks about spinnies, how she can go and get the little raisin packs, the little snack packs, all the different bits that she'll need. Because before we didn't have any way to know, how do you do those mum moments, you know?
Yeah.
Specifically here, where do you find the flying tiger? Where do you go for the 5-star shop? You know, like stuff like that. So it's just a really helpful platform.
Where do you find Flying Tiger, and where is the dentist?
Flying Tiger is in Park Avenue. There might be more, but we've got one in Park Avenue, which is in that Quarterborough area I've talked about. And then the dentist. So at our event, we had Smile Clinic.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, and they have a really good kids dentist. So yeah, we'll tag them in the show notes as well. But yeah, I think it's all those day-to-day places. Where can you take the kids for a haircut? Because honestly, the amount of times I've taken, and I still haven't worked this one out, when I take MJ for a haircut, my son, he comes out looking like an absolute little gangster, and he'll have a blue sparkly stripe. I'm like, when did I miss that? So he loves it. He thinks it's the best thing ever. So it's things like that. I'm like, oh goodness. So yeah.
Oh, and then just other kind of like good places for mums to maybe like find other mums. Like, for example, I can see from your Instagram, you go horse riding quite a lot with your kids.
I do.
Is that like a good mummy mingle moment? Are there any other spots like that where you find like lots of other mummies that you can make friends with? Maybe a soft play.
Yeah, so Medal Stables is where I take the kids every Friday morning. They have a pony club for kids aged 2 to 6. So that's literally my kids. And they love it. Mika is all the gear no idea. She just loves it. She has a little pink hat and off she goes. So what I really missed when I first moved here was that Arabian Ranches vibe, because I'm horsey. So when you can go to the equestrian club opposite Arabian, what's it called? Arabian Ranches Polo Club?
The Polo Club, yes.
Yeah. I used to always go there, and I felt really sad we didn't really have anywhere like that. Whereas here now we've got Medal, which definitely has that family piece where we can go on Friday mornings, and I rode there. So they're amazing. And then also, so all the clubs. So we've got a parkour club. which I was trying to explain to my family the other day. They were like, what is parkour? And I was like, basically just jumping off stuff. I don't really know. But that's what they do. It's French. And then we have gymnastics, we've got football, we've got all the different clubs. That's a really good mummy mingle opportunity. And then also soft play, absolutely not. I'm telling you now, we do not have it. Is that gone blurry? Hang on, let me say that again. Sorry, Courtney. Soft plays are not a thing here, which is mad. Honestly, so much so in the last 6 years, I was like, I'm going to set one up. So we have them everywhere, but they don't open until 4 p.m.
What?
Imagine. I'm done by 4 p.m. I'm putting everyone to bed by 4 p.m.
I'm at home.
Yeah. So here we have, honestly, maybe 2 in the whole city that open at 11 most.
Oh my God, that's wild.
Isn't it? So I always said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to set one up that starts at 8.
Business up for you there, Frankie.
Yes, exactly. So if anyone is listening that's an investor in Saudi, yalla, let's make a soft play that opens at 11. And also, I can't get my head around that, because I remember moving here and finding it so difficult to make mummy friends. And that would be the place in Dubai or England or Australia or wherever you are where you probably would meet most of your mummy friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. It's so true. Gosh. Well, watch this space. Frankie's opening a soft play, people. Frankie's opening a soft play.
Hear it here first.
Yeah.
Do you know what I always think in Dubai they should have one, like, you know, Bob Ricard, where you can press the champagne button? I want to be in a soft play. Obviously, I can't do that here, so you can have this. This can be for you. Open a soft play where you can have a press champagne button.
Yeah, no, I agree with this. I think that's genius. Absolutely love it. And then, Frankie, before we round up this episode today, is there any last tips or words of wisdom that you will leave us with this morning?
Yeah. So I feel like for moving here and just kind of finding your feet and all your essentials, just get here and you will meet people, because like I say, the internet just isn't overly helpful right now. It's coming, and things like Saudi Life Unpacked will help, but you kind of need to just get here to be like, right, I'm going to find my feet now. And things like schools and soft plays and dentists, and it will be referrals mostly through compound WhatsApp groups if you're on a compound, and if not, you will meet mums at the school gate. Like, some of my best mum friends are just from chatting to people on the school gate. So it is here. It's just getting here to then kind of settle yourself in properly.
Yeah, and actually, I'm going to add something to this, because I remember one of the things that you've said before previously that really kind of stuck with me, I should say, was when you move, don't spend your life just on the compound. Get out and explore Saudi, because I feel like you've said that it's very easy to do, right?
Yeah, and also there's 2 types of expats, honestly. There's the ones that come and then complain that they feel like they're goldfish and that they're in this kind of walled prison community, and will refer to it as doing their sentence or their time, and they leave. Then there's people like me who get out, enjoy the culture, enjoy the city, enjoy the experience, just immerse myself in what's outside of the gate. And we're the ones that will be here a really long time, and we're the ones that will reap the rewards of being here. So you're 100% right. That is such an important thing. Like, get here, but get out, get into the city.
Explore what the city has to offer, because from the sounds of it, there is so much.
Yeah, so much.
And then, Frankie, before we say bye, where can everybody find you on Instagram if they want to reach out and ask any questions?
So if you want to find a matcha, you want to know where to go for breakfast, you need your eyebrows done, it's at Frankie with an IE, Hilton X on Instagram.
Love this. Until next week, Frankie.
Bye.